The Red Emma's project is it's actually not just one project, but a family of projects that exist in Baltimore, Maryland. The whole thing came together in, must have been late 2003, November of 2003, I think, is when Red Emma's officially began to exist in the public eye. And Red Emma's was started specifically with the idea of trying to create a space in Baltimore where we could put forward the radical politics that we had in our minds, and the radical politics that we had sort of used to shape our lives. And do that in a way that was understandable, welcoming, a way that was going to make sense to folks who didn't self-define as radicals. So what Red Emma's is, at least the way that Red Emma's started, was with a group of people who said, we want to open a radical bookstore in Baltimore. We know a little bit about bookstores. We've certainly all spent a lot of time in bookstores. We feel like making radical literature available to the world is an important part of our sort of activist ideals. And we wanted to do that in a way that could eventually become sustainable for the people who were working there. So because it's pretty hard to run an independent bookstore in the United States and actually sustain yourself financially, we decided we needed to add another aspect to that. And the aspect that we settled on was running a cafe, so a coffee house. And the reason we decided on a coffee house was because it was something that we could do and we could be socially responsible. We could use that space as a way to put forward ideas about buying locally, as a way to put forward ideas about the importance of organic, the importance of fair trade, the importance of democratic workplaces. Running a cafe and a bookstore was something that we could do and feel good about the way we were doing it. Not just about the products we were selling, but about the way we were actually getting those products and those ideas out into the world. And of course, the nice thing about a coffee house is that it brings people in who aren't necessarily going to feel comfortable going into a self-defined radical bookstore. When you go into the Red Emma storefront, you know, it's hard to not notice that it is a radical space. I mean, the literature on the shelves, the stuff on the walls, the periodicals, it all points to a very political ideology and a very specifically radical and anarchist political ideology. But it's also a space that's meant to be open, welcoming to anybody who wants to come in. So somebody might just wander in off the street because they want a cup of coffee, or they want a sandwich, or they're waiting for the bus, which conveniently stops right outside of the store. And that's been incredibly helpful for us because it's brought people into a radical space who never would have felt comfortable going in.